Hello, this is my client Petra. She's a regular client. It's Saturday morning in Germany and she came back in my salon after 4 months. I love to show you my freehand color technique, camouflage with Spirit Lights. There are so many techniques with the name balayage, so for me it's important that camouflage Spirit Lights is a true freehand color technique. This color technique is really hard to watch for hairdressers who love perfectionism. It's not about perfectionism, it's about a real natural result, a very soft result. And I show you a way what is more an art than a craft. I am doing freehand colors now for over 16 years. And in the beginning, for me as a hairdresser, it was really difficult to change the way of work from a precise, controlled, technical way to a very free artist thinking how to place the color into the hair. To start, I really look how the hair is growing. It's not growing from the middle to the outside. It's growing, in many cases, from the right side to the left side. And this is the reason that I choose my first parting from the crown area to the nape right area. Then I do a horizontal section to keep away the hair and clip it away. This is the first area I work with. I always try to think how comes the hair out of the scalp and how would the sun change the color. For this reason I mix 60 gram spirit powder with 40 gram 20 volume and 2 centimeters silver violet pigments. As you can see, this is a very thick mixture, but this is very important because this is the reason that you don't need any foils. It's like ice cream, as you can see. My second mixture as a lowlight color is 7.23, what is a middle blonde with violet and gold, and I love the consistency of the Infiniti color. It's really like a magnetic. To work with a very thick Spirit Light mixture, I use the master palette. The master palette helps me to have control with the consistency. Oh wait, there is a hair on the brush. This is what I love with the master palette. You can use the hair catcher if you have any hair on the brush without using your fingers. It's anyway about using all fingers. With the master palette you have more freedom to work with. All fingers. You can clean the brush all the time and you can prepare the mixture before it touches the hair. This is really important because of the thickness of the product. The preparation on the palette is really important. Because we are just working in the root area, it's really important to work with fluid movements all the time. And the contact with the hair is also very important. You should not be too soft. You need a lot of tension. That is a good thing that you have the free fingers on both hands. And then you can clean the brush, get the product in the right amount, prepare it and place it where you need it. If you have done it a few times, you really get a lot of fun. It's a totally different way of working. And it's after so many years I'm a hairdresser, for me it's a complete new way of working and the clients love it as well. Now I place a lowlight color. Again, it's very important to work with a clean brush. So I don't put the brush into the bowl. I always take the product with a very precise and clean way, and then I just work in the root area. With the lowlight color, I place the color on the top of the hair and under the hair. Now I use a comb to get it more even and I leave out the length. So I really get a very healthy look afterwards. And this is the advantage of the very thick consistency of the spirit powder and the magnetic effect of the Infiniti. You don't need any foils or cut and roll to separate the hair. What is really important is that you hold the hair very, very strong, otherwise you don't get the product on the hair. And if you don't have the contact to the hair, it will not light enough. The best way of holding the hair is with the index finger and the thumb. Now I use the master palette to color the ends. But mainly I will work in the roots area. I don't touch a lot of the ends of the length of the hair. Now I clean my fingers and I go to the next part. Again, I hold the hair between my fingers. I have a deposit of the bleach on the palette. I apply the bleach on the board so that if I have the first touch with the hair, it will be perfectly on the hair with the right amount and with the right consistency. Otherwise, you really get an uneven result. If I apply the spirit powder bleach, I make sure that the color is not going through the hair, so that under the hair is no bleach. Again, I take the next slightly diagonal section. Now comes the lowlight color again. I apply it on the roots and a little bit into the length. And the mixture between the lowlight and the bleach color makes it possible that sometimes you don't need a gloss or glaze. I apply the lowlight color from both sides of the hair, and then I use the comb to make it a little bit more even. After this, I circle it a little bit around, that it not has a direct contact with the bleach, and leave it down. If you work in this matter, it's much faster as if you work horizontally. The parting is really easier to do. Now I take the right amount of the bleach, clean the brush, prepared bleach on the brush, put it on the hair directly. This goes very fast. And you can decide how thick the bleach will be. Sometimes I do it thinner on the board, sometimes I do it thicker. But if I touch the hair, it's perfectly prepared. I love the idea to play with the consistency of the bleach. Very often I mix it 60-40, sometimes I mix it 1:1. 1:1 is our painting mix. And if you mix it 1:1.5, is our American Balayage mix. Or you can even mix it 1:2, then you have it very liquid. If the bleach is liquid, it goes deeper into the hair and it lights up. Then you need to be careful that it doesn't mix together. And you need to use foils that the bleach is not getting contact with the lowlight color. At the very bottom of the nape, I apply the bleach a little bit from the underneath if she's wearing her hair up. So, this is the perfect zero waste technique. You don't need any foils or papers or anything. Wieder alle am Filmen, ne? What is difficult to see on the video, sometimes I apply a little bit thicker, so the product will last longer, or I do it thinner, then it will dry, and after 5 to 10 minutes it stops the process and we get a very, very soft lightening of the hair, just one shade maybe. I'm always preparing the product, cleaning the brush, put the right amount of bleach on the master palette, and then directly I put it onto the hair. And what is also important is to move all the time. Swiping, swiping, swiping. If I come closer to the face, the sectioning starts to be pivoting. So so that we don't get any hard lines in the front area.
So, und dann
I'm sorry about my English.
erstmal so, 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 so. Und dann nochmal so ein bisschen hier.
Man erkennt nicht wirklich, was da auf Winkel dabei ist. Und zeig das mal.
Ja, kommt da jetzt. Hier ist die Lowlight-Farbe. Und die Pinsel, möglichst sauber. So.
As you can see, the sections are getting smaller. This is important to get not a hard effect in the front. And then afterwards I wind the hair so it doesn't get contact with the bleach. Winding, winding, winding.
No white paper. Nothing. Just Infiniti and Spirit.
At the area in the temple, I apply it a little bit thinner because the fine hair goes lighter in an easier way. So you can see I do it very, very thin. I swipe very softly into the front, and this will dry after a few minutes and then it stops the process. This is the great thing about the thick mixture. And with this baby hair in the front, this is what I call baby lights. If I do highlights into the baby hair, a little bit thinner and more careful. Baby lights.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my camera woman had to work, so you can't really see how I applied the top area. But it's the same matter around the parting, and it's the same way. Now we leave it for 15 minutes, 50 minutes, and wait until it dries. So, at the base you can now check. Because it's so dry, you can rub away the bleach and you can already see how it lights up the hair. Now I check how the color worked for me. If it's too golden, I can just mix. Well, there are different ways what I could do. I could mix the lowlight color, where you can see there, with the bleached hair, and then the violet of the lowlights goes into the highlighted pieces. This is what we not do. I just rinse it out directly because I'm happy it's light enough. It's not too yellow. And now we rinse off and we will see what glaze or gloss we do. I decided to use an 8.0 and 8.2, and I apply it just at the roots. What is important that it's not too long on the hair. So the developing time, it's between 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, because I don't want a root shadow. If I choose the glaze or the gloss color too dark or leave it on too long, I get just an ordinary balayage effect with the root shading. But the root shading is not what I want. I really want an uneven line when it's growing out. That is the reason that it holds so long. Because I haven't used any conditioner right now. The hair is still open and the hair is really waiting for the pigments. This is another reason that the bleached hair will take the color very, very fast. Don't leave it on too long. We just need this a little bit, that the roots, because we only worked in the root area, are not so freshly colored, and the difference between the length and the roots is getting less. If you have any dots, then I use, instead of a semi-permanent gloss, a color 7.0 for example. But here we don't need it, so we just do a glazing and we just stand behind and look at the result, and maximum developing time very often is just 2 to 3 minutes. So it goes very, very fast. So, and in the next step, we rinse it out, we condition the hair, we have another look. If you look at the wet hair, it always looks a little goldener than normal, but don't get confused, but I think this is what you know already, and if you dry the hair, it will look different. Now, here you see the finished result. I'm happy, the client is happy, the color will last about 3 to 4 months. The root will not be hard, it looks very soft. You can use this technique as well if the client has white hair, and you can be very flexible about it. With this video, I showed you a little secret from my work and how I work and how I get many clients, and also I have a lot of fun doing it. It's not so easy as it looks like. It took me a long time to learn, but here she is. Petra, thank you for being my model, and I hope you liked the video. Greetings from Germany, Europe. Bye!